Well, I just thought I would make a film, and the reason for this was that I was just thinking about the fact that as a kind of culture, we've become sort of obsessed with the visual image and certainly moving image. Um, Ever since the advent of television and now the internet, every single aspect of people's lives seems to be filmed or streamed. Right the way from the most sort of mundane of things to really really interesting and educational things as well. So I'm just sort of wondering what that kind of means for sort of culture, as a whole. Um, are people literally going to sort of live their lives in a kind of permanent spotlight? Under the scrutiny of 24-hour a day cameras. Um, Filming their every action, their every event in their life. I mean, we've already got sort of CCTV and sort of surveillance cameras anyway, especially here in the UK, in the cities probably in particular. But I think we've got some of the highest number of CCTV cameras in the world per square mile or per capita or whatever it is. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting thing. Will it be the struggle to have complete silence and complete peace and quiet in your life will be a rare commodity? Will we end up having like pods or hotels or whatever where people book in to be in absolute silence, to not be on camera, to not be filmed, to not be surveilled or whatever it is? Will that become a premium? Just thinking about it, that's all. It's just one of those kind of thoughts I have every now and again. You just kind of wonder. I just wonder what other people thought. So, I mean, as a kid, when we first moved to the rural countryside from a town when I was very little, maybe two, we didn't have a television. So all my entertainment was kind of growing up in the country, was playing with animals out in the fields, workshops, being around tools, equipment, tractors, farm machinery, all that kind of stuff, and nature, just being out in the great outdoors kind of thing. Um, and eventually we did get a television. I was kind of weird at that time because I didn't have TV for quite a few years. But I suppose on the flip side of that, my dad was a blacksmith and had two workshops and a machine shop. And to be perfectly honest, I'd be down in the workshop, playing with the forge and making swords, or we'd come up with a project like let's make a spear gun or something, and I remember him helping me to learn how to braze stainless steel so we could make this spear gun, and all kinds of weird and wonderful things that we did. Um, but when we did get a television, a colour television, which was a big deal, um, I think I kind of became addicted to it. And I remember my mom had an expression. She said that I'd watch a tap drip as long as it was in colour, which I laugh about now, and I think is, looking back on it, is quite funny. But now I'm sort of at a stage where I'm trying to go back to the workshop, go back to being around tools, go back to being in nature, away from this kind of technology obsessed culture, self-obsessed culture, I suppose, as well. This self-promotion sort of thing that I see a lot of. So, I think it's an interesting question, really. Will we sort of will privacy become a sort of rare commodity, in the future? And it's something that I do think about. I do think about that. I feel a lot of the time we're very much drawn into a kind of technologically sort of led age, and I've been trying to simplify my life for years, and that is a long term kind of goal and a long term view, and it's very difficult in these modern times. So there's nothing like a thought or an idea like that to stop you in your tracks and make you sit down and take a break and smoke a pipe. So I just wonder what other people thought. Is it going to be very difficult to be a kind of private person, if you like, in the future, to have that sort of degree of privacy, whether voluntarily or through systems and structures around us? So I just wonder what other people thought. But anyway, yeah, little Mr. Brog pipe there, some good tobacco, a bit of a break, and I'll leave you with those thoughts.